So this is just a little warm-up routine before your leg workout. We're lengthening the hamstrings a bit, warming up the hamstrings, warming up the hips to get you ready for some leg strength. So first of all, stand up and then walk your feet to the side, quite wide. Then have your toes and your knees pointing to the side, and we're going to start with a few Cossack squats from side to side. Make sure the knees are pointing into the same direction than the toes, and at the same time try to pull the knees towards the back by using your glutes. So you don't want to collapse inwards, you always want to push out into external rotation. And then next time when you're on your right side, try to go all the way down to the floor. You can use your hands as well in front of you as a support until you sit on the ground. And then we're going to go into internal rotation. You can pivot on the ball of your foot or on the big toe. And every time when you go into external rotation, try to use your glute. And when you use your glute, you can feel how your knee is pulling out straight away through that external rotation in the hip. So it's not just moving the leg up and down, it's actually using the glutes to open up. I'm going to do that a few times just to create some space in the hip. And then next time when the knee is pointing up, actively pull it into external rotation. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either use your hands on the floor or reach your arms forward so we can get up, lift the hips up. We want to stay as low as we can, switching to the other side, and then sink the hips back down. Again, as an alternative, you can use the hands even behind you to sit back down. And then we're going to do exactly the same again. Pivot on the ball of your foot, in and out just a few times to create some space here again in the hip socket, but then straight away activate your glutes. Feel that external rotation, and as well your inner thighs are opening up nicely. Gonna do a few more of these. And then next time when the knee is pointing up, actively pull it out, like feel the squeeze of your glutes to open up your adductors. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let's try that one more time. Reach the arms forward. You can use a little bit of momentum, come back to center, and then slowly stand up. Then get your feet back together, and then we're going to get into a forward fold. And from here, all I want you to do is a little bit of a bend, alternating in the knees, get a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Every time when you extend the leg, you might feel a bit more of tension in that hamstring, so you can go a little bit deeper where it opens up a bit more, but you want to feel more and more of a stretch. And then grab your opposite elbows and just bounce a little bit. Bouncing up and down. Try to get into an anterior tilt of your hips, so don't round the spine too much. Lengthen the spine and bounce. And then slowly get your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and then sink your hips down towards the floor into a squat position. If you can't sit in a squat very organically, you can elevate the heels onto a block or onto a weight plate. That usually comes through lack of dorsiflexion or obviously hip mobility. But if you can be on the floor, let's just stay here for a little bit. You can rock from side to side. And then we're going to twist, keep the left hand on the floor, reach the right arm up to the sky, and then get a little bit into rotation of the spine. You can use your arm here and the knee to kind of push into each other to get more rotation. And then come back to center. We're going to do the other side. Left arm reaches up, push the arm into your right knee, and knee pushes into your right arm. And then come back to center. And then when you're going to do the internal rotation again, you want to pivot on the ball of your foot or the big toe again. And your goal now is to get your knee as close to the opposite knee as toe as possible. So rotation and come back into squat. Pivot on the big toe, internal rotation and back. If this is way too much, alternatively, you can have the hands behind you on the floor, and we can do exactly the same movement. internal rotation, touch towards the opposite big toe. Gonna do that a few more times. You can use your arms to counterbalance. And then next time we're back in the squat, get your arms in between your legs. You can have your hands in prayer position or just interlace, and then actively squeeze the legs into your arms so you can feel your adductors working. Squeeze hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then place the hands in front of you on the floor. You can get your feet a little bit closer to each other, and then try to keep your tummy and your thighs as connected as possible. And then we're going to extend the legs, lifting the hips up, and then bend the knees again. Only go as high up with the hips as you can keep the thigh and the tummy together. And maybe with every rep, you can lift the hips a little bit higher to maintain that compression. Lengthen the spine up to the ceiling, or lengthen the tailbone up to the ceiling, lengthen the spine instead of rounding. Gonna do this a few more times. Up and down. And then next time when you're in the forward fold, stay in the forward fold, and we're gonna bounce again. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Now tuck the tailbone in, keep the shoulders relaxed, and one bit at a time, roll your hips up, shoulders lift, chest lifts, and head comes up. And now the hips should be nice and warm, and you will be ready for your leg workout.